Hey guys, what's going on? Jimmy the Owl here, and with the first Ascendant getting its first pre-season content update tomorrow, the 31st, it's about time I made a video stating some changes that I think would make the game better. I'm not going to do this in an order that I think is like top 10 or top 5 or starting with number 1 and go. I'm just going to throw out a list of things that I think would fix the game. There might be a bit of a structure, but it's just going to be in the list of order that I just think of them as I'm going. Let's start with builds. The current problem is right now, to have a full stack of modules fully upgraded, you need to have every single module slot socketed with a certain socket to match the module you're putting in to make it cost less. Issue starts to arise that by doing this, you're forcing yourself down one specific build path, meaning you can't change up on the fly or be like, ooh, this new build's been found, let me go try it. You would then have to go farm more catalysts, go farm the modules, go farm the levels, and replace all the modules sockets that you've already put in. And if the build is not good, you've just nuked your old one, meaning you've then got to farm more catalysts, more module stuff to then go back to where you were before you changed builds. It's absolute crazy talk, right? Some ideas have been brought forward, one of them being that we have multiple tabs. Not all the tabs should share sockets. Instead, tab 1, 2, and 3 should all be separate sockets that you can do, so you can have up to 3 builds saved for when you want to go do stuff. Another one, which is my personal favorite, which is off of Reddit, that I found, where this guy came up with an idea to have it so that you can just select the sockets as you're going. So as long as you put the socket onto that slot, you could select what slot you would want the module to be, no matter what. So you would never nuking your build just to switch the sockets. This was a good idea. I do like this one. Overall, something does need doing, because forcing people like me who plays Jaber to only play one build because the turret build that I'm playing is full damage, but you need different socket types for full healing and different socket types for full damage and healing to have a mix of the both. And I don't even want to get started on the other abilities. I don't really know much about them. It's just the build variety is there for Jaber. It's just not worth the investment. This brings me to my next point. Crystallization catalyst crafting. This is a problem that I'm actually seeing to start pop up on the Reddit now, which is nice because there does need to be a conversation around this. It doesn't seem like everyone's agreeing with it, but I'm glad there's a conversation about it because I do think it is a bit ridiculous. To have a weapon, 3 of them to be exact, and a Descendant fully maxed, you're looking at 294 hours of crafting. That's already an issue in and of itself. I only have 180 hours on the game, but the biggest issue to me is the stop-start progression. I'm not a big fan of stop-start progression. It sucks. When you are just sat there waiting on timers, it's not fun. Especially when it's a leveling process, because how it works is you put the catalyst on, select your socket, go back to level 1, grind to level 40, then go back and get your catalyst. That would be a good progression loop. You could keep going and going and going. But right now, you can get level 40 in about like 4-ish hours. So that leaves you with another 3 hours of downtime before you can go again. It's just a lot of dead air. You're just constantly starting in the leveling process, which gets annoying fast because you're in there, you're locked in, you're leveling, and then you got a 3-hour break. And then you got to try and get back into that mind space of locking in, leveling, and loading. You could make the argument, oh, but actually just craft them all and then do it in one session. That's just also a waste of time as well. That's just a lot of time wasted on crafting and doing nothing in between. I just don't like the system. The best system, in my opinion, would be keep the 7 hours, but craft 2 or 3 at once. 2 would be fine, so it could take you around about 3 to 4 hours. So you'd either have an hour overtime or an hour undertime, which is much more doable, as well as it means there wouldn't be as much stop-starting on the leveling process. It would just be so much nicer to be able to multi-craft this thing. I don't think turning down the time is a fix that is needed. I just think multi-crafting is a fix that is needed. Just let us multi-craft these things, seeming you need 12 for the Descendant and 10 for each weapon. That's 42 that you need overall. I think you should be able to craft more than one at a time, especially when you want people to play multiple characters in this game. Then you're looking at going further beyond 84. Like at what point do you want it to be reasonable here? Just let us craft more than one at a time, at least. These two fixes would fix pugging, so I'm going to group them together. Step 1, make it so that the boss doesn't start until everyone, or just one person would probably be the safer option, leaves the circle, so then the boss will start as soon as someone gets out the circle. This gives a chance for everyone to load in with the loading problems that are still prevalent for people with not as up-to-date CPUs, as well as it would fix the issues of people not understanding mechanics that well. You don't have a lot of time from when you load in to when the boss spawns to get out what you need to do and who's doing what. For example, Frostwalker being a big one for me, I haven't been able to do it because 1, people don't read chat, 2, when they do, they don't listen to instructions, and 3, it's hard to get all the information out there before they've started doing stuff. You've got to get in, you don't have many characters, so you have to type 2 to 3 sentences of what the boss is, how the mechanic works, and who's doing the running. That is not good. It's really, really difficult to get all that information out before the boss fight is even started. So this one would fix the problem of people not understanding the boss, as well as people loading in late, as well as being able to strategize. Think of World of Warcraft, for example. You don't just show up in dungeon and then instantly before you have a chance to tell someone about the mechanics of a boss, you just instantly thrust it into the room, get your ass cheek slapped, and then get kicked from the raid. Doesn't work like that. You have times where you can discuss how these things work, who's taking what mechanic, who's doing what. That is generally needed in this pugging situation that we have currently. Number 2, which would fix pugging, but not in the way that people would like, would be guilds. Guilds, clans, groups, whatever you want to call them. Some way to have a nice, tight-knitted community within the game for yourself, so that when it comes to the more mechanically challenging bosses, you can just drop a message in the guild chat. Anyone want to do Frostwalker? Because you're in a guild, you're normally speaking to each other more, you're more likely to read chat, you're more likely to listen and follow instructions, which means it's more likely the boss is going to get done. The fact that there's a game in 2024 that doesn't have a clan, guild, or group system is just maddening to me. I just don't really understand it that much. This would fix a majority of my issues. So those are my 2 fixes. Make it so that the boss doesn't start until someone leaves the circle, and add group, clans, and guilds, whichever way you want to call it, to make it easier for the semi-casual players to find a group of people that listen, play the game, understand the bosses, to get shit done quicker and easier. A big issue I'm also seeing that I would like seeing fixed somehow, some way, is diversity in characters. There's barely any difference whenever you go anywhere in the characters that you'll see. Bunny, Ajax, Volby, Lepic, Glay, maybe Frenya. And the only time I ever see Sharon isn't the interception missions. Everyone else has lost the fucking time and space. No one plays Eugen. No one plays Jaber unless they're farming fucking void stuff. I'm yet to see an Etzimo. I'm yet to see Kyle. I'm yet to see so many characters that are in the game simply because everyone does what they do but better. Jaber isn't the greatest, I will admit. His turrets are lackluster, and the only good thing he has about him is the buff circle around them. But when you think about that, they're stationary, they don't move, and they have a long cooldown time, and the buffing takes a lot longer. If you wanted something with AoE to do stuff like that, there's so many better options. Bunny, Valaby, even fucking Blair have so much more utility and AoE and damage that it makes Jaber feel pointless. And don't even get me started on Blair. He's such a non-star as well that I missed because I see him never, not a single fucking time do I see this guy. It just feels like I'm seeing the same 5 descendants over and over and over again. Can we please get some buffs going so that we can see other descendants on the board? It's getting boring now. Descendant-specific ultimate weapons. Now hear me out, I know not a lot of people will agree with me on this one, but the idea sounds cool. Imagine like weapons tied to descendants that gave them a buff similar to what you can get from transcendent modules, but on a weapon instead. For example, let's look at Jaber. Doesn't have a ultimate weapon he can use very well right now. Python is the only one that he can really use at a consistent level, and he's only using it for the debuff. Now let's say we give him a rifle or a light machine gun, or hell, even a pistol, whatever weapon you want to make it be, that was specifically made for him. That in essence, would give him a buff to one of his abilities or make him a stronger character altogether. For example, you could have it if your rifle is attacking the same target as what your turret was attacking, it extends the duration of the turret or extends the duration of the ring around the turret. Or you can have it that deals bonus damage, stacking up to a certain amount of time, depending if your turret's attacking the same target or not. Make it so that it locks onto the enemy, can attack them from any range. Whatever you want it to be, you could go hog wild with it. You could have a gun for Bunny, for example, where no matter what you're doing, even if you're going full sprint, you could still shoot the weapon. You could go anywhere with this. There's some crazy things you could do. And overall, adding more build diversity to the game with it. I just think it's a really cool concept that would make the game more interesting. Because right now, as it stands, I just don't get what Ultimate could come out that Jaber could use consistently. There just isn't one. I don't think there could be one. Unless there was something to remove cooldowns per shot or per ammo spent. Even then, it would probably be too strong on other characters, so it would have to get nerfed. Or just completely not work anymore. There's just so many mix-arounds, but if you made it locked to Jaber, all of a sudden, it's not a problem anymore. I don't know. It's just an idea that's been rooting in my canal for a while. Just some cool things, like what happens if Eugen had a weapon where you could heal people by shooting them and stuff. Cool concept. And I think Descendant locked ultimate weapons would also make balancing a lot more easier, as well as giving just some cool unique builds out there. One last little idea that I've been cooking, and if you watched my Wayfinder video, you know where this is going. We got the turret guy, but that's not where I stop. It's never where I stop. The mechanic is where I stop. I want someone to summon mechs. I want them to put fucking cool shit on the floor and then go charge and kill some things. I want a big-ass mech suit that comes down and starts slapping shit up. I need a summoner. I need an engineer. I need something cool like that. That's like the only thing I got left to add. They're the main fixes I would want fixing, is the craftables and all that fun stuff with the modules and builds, build variety not being as flexible. As well as the things I said about pugging, the ultimate Descendant weaponry, as well as just give me a fucking summoner, please. Like anything for a summoner class. Someone, because like imagine all the cool type of robots you could summon in this game. It'd be dope as fuck, please. But anyway, that's the video in its entirety. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's just a little video that I wanted to make, and I will revise it at some point when Season 1 is about to start to give changes that I would want to see in Season 1. But these are the changes I would love to see before Season 1 starts. Fingers fucking crossed. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.